ample storage, USB ports, bookshelf, even a drop-down table with cup holders.
Because nothing's more American than a sofa with more horsepower than a pickup truck.
What's up, chat?
Is spread across multiple accounts.
I'm live.
You can count on credit
I'm
cards.
streaming, chat. Streaming.
Ways to save, improve spending habits, and pay down debt.
Jeez. I'm streaming, chat.
The more we show you how to grow your money.
Follow me.
To get started.
Follow me. The dog please. One. It's with Nick Boston Ball. Dude, I have bought one already. You have to do Friday, chat. I have to do Friday.
During the Jeep Make This the Summer, well-qualified lessees can lease select 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport.
This way. Now it's Sunday, chat. Now I do stream on YouTube first. Set your stream on second phone or do stream on Facebook. My second phone, chat.
Hi, Jillian. Within the last couple of hours, Mayor Karen Bass confirmed what sources leaked to the Los Angeles Times yesterday that homelessness has increased under her watch. And here is why she says this is happening.
I will not accept that in the greatest city in the world, people are suffering and dying on our streets. We have a hostile federal government that has driven up the cost of rent, groceries, gas, and everything in between for all Americans. This has pushed more families into homelessness across our region.
The mayor has been touting a decrease in homelessness in the city over the last 2 years throughout her re-election campaign, and now she is blaming President Trump for the rise. It comes the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority is in the middle of a lawsuit against the federal government after the Trump administration tried suspending the agency from receiving federal funding, accusing it of mismanaging money. Now, if the leaked numbers are accurate, homelessness is back to nearly the same level it was in 2024. The numbers jumped from more than 43,000 people in 2025 to more than 45,000 this year. This is still around 1,000 less than the data that was collected in 2023, about 1 month after the mayor took office. This is all based on LA's annual point-in-time count when volunteers canvass the city and people living here say they can feel the change.
Downtown, we face the brunt of it. Downtown is, the heart of the homelessness crisis. We need help. We need more resources. We need to do bigger things.
The city will be releasing its full homeless report this afternoon, so we are keeping an eye on that. Jillian? All right, Natalie, Chuck in LA for us this afternoon. A suspected Tren de Aragua gang member will soon be deported despite ICE being kept in the dark by Illinois sanctuary policies after he walked free for selling guns to an undercover ETF agent. Correspondent Garrett Henney will report live out of Chicago on that for us. Garrett?
Well, Sandra, this is a guy who a judge said wasn't safe to have out on the streets and needed to be held in detention during his trial. But when Jose Vasquez Hernandez was released this past month, the state didn't give the feds any kind of a heads up because of Illinois sanctuary policies. The 31-year-old Venezuelan who was in the country illegally was caught selling high-powered weapons to an undercover ATF agent on the city's west side last year during a joint federal operation with Chicago police. But thanks to a plea deal, he was sentenced to just 18 months. And since Illinois has an automatic 50% sentence reduction for good behavior, he walked free last month without spending a day in prison after receiving credit for time served while he was awaiting his trial.
Illinois is the worst state in America for justice. Just look at this case. Sanctuary city policies have to go and be modified for sure. The Safety Act in Illinois plays a large role in individuals being released back on the street.
Vasquez was also able to be released because the feds never filed any charges against him. So for the past month, after the state released him, this alleged teenage gang member has just been out on the streets until this week. Federal agents were able to track him down, take him into custody, and get him ready to be deported. But DHS says it would have been a whole lot safer for everyone involved if the state would hold these kinds of criminals in custody and let federal agents come and pick them up at the jail rather than just releasing them back out into our cities and neighborhoods. Sandra?
Eric, thank you very much. These are the small space solutions America's waited 250 years for. Bob's Betty Bedroom. It packs a style punch in even the smallest of spaces. Betty Dining, thousands of 5-star reviews, 4 fantastic colors. The Aspen Sofa, goggle-pink seats, channeled upholstery, and the Phantom, that one customer wrote they loved so much they decided to buy the love seat.
Because nothing's more American than doubling that.
Oh my God!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
So we have reached a point where there seems to be 2, maybe 3 choices: go big or go home, or go big and then go home. What do you see happening?
You know, I think at this point the president is going to.
Hello.
I think he's going to maintain the strikes around
I'm sorry, Jared.
around Under Abbas to keep the threat to shipping down there. He's going to expand it to include more targets in Iran. In other words, increase the economic pressure. When you combine that with a successful reimposition of the blockade, you bring real pressure on the regime. Whether it's enough to break the we'll see. You're not going to get there with just kind of a defensive, striking things that strike at you only strategy. You need to expand this to impose costs.
I feel don't all hear to stream at Jeff. I don't on I don't Trevor stream
We don't want that.
the
But we actually learn from
stream
what's
on the
happening.
Facebook on my
systems.
set
So
phone,
we don't
Jack.
make the same mistakes over and over again. We continue to get safer with better policy and better equipment.
Transportation
Yeah,
Secretary Sean
I
Duffy
find
tonight's Common Ground segment
don't
of bipartisan effort to improve railway safety
Trevor.
following the East Palestine,
I
Ohio train derailment in
Jack.
2023. Joining us are 2 members of the House
Jack.
Transportation Committee, Democrat Chris DeLuzio of Pennsylvania and Republican Troy Nehls of Texas. Congressman DeLuzio, let me start with you. Why is this important, and what does this do?
Look, this bill is really simple. It's about rail safety coming out of the derailment just across the border from my district, across the border in Western Pennsylvania. This Railway Safety Act that Troy Nehls and I got through committee, it adopts the recommendations of the NTSB. It had the support of then candidate Donald Trump, then President Joe Biden. It had J.D. Vance as the lead in the Senate. It's had bipartisan support. So it's been a no-brainer for me to work with Troy here to get this thing through committee, to get it through the Congress, get it to the president's desk.
Yeah, so the Railway Safety Amendment proposed as part of the Build America 250 Act directs the Transportation Department to issue safety regulations for trains carrying hazardous materials, establish requirements for wayside defect detectors, systems that inspect trains alongside tracks while they travel, increases maximum fines for safety violations, and requires freight trains have 2 crew members with some exceptions. Congressman Nehls, this is important in the wake of that tragedy?
It is, and it's just a lot more than what you just said. We added things like grade crossing elimination. We have over 1,000 derailments a year on average. 2025, we lost 968 fatalities, almost 10,000, accidents and incidents across the rail system in the United States. So we wanted to make sure that we put some robust funding to grade crossing elimination. Too many people getting struck, by trains, the cars, the humans. So we would like to see either trains or cars go up or over or under. We got to do it. It's good for the rail, the entire system. And I think it's certainly good for the American people.
You also share a passion against the proposed $85 billion merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern, right?
Yeah, I've got real concerns. I've heard them not just from the workers involved, right, whether Norfolk Southern or UP, also a lot of the customers, right? Companies that ship their goods and materials, they're worried about having now maybe one railroad for the first time in our country control coast-to-coast shipping by rail. We have transcontinental shipment now. It's arrangements between railroads. So I've got real concerns. Again, the customers, the workers, at the end of the day, this is about things being more expensive for people. And I don't want to see that happen. I think we've got to do everything we can to keep costs down and bring costs down. And that's certainly a big part of my concern.
Do you see more or less working across the aisle
I know you all do, but do you see more or less of it up there?
Look, I think it's tough, but I think you find the places you can do it. I mean, Troy and I don't agree on a lot of big national issues, but I think we both see eye to eye on getting this rail safety bill passed and getting it to the White House to be signed. You know, I don't care who sits in the Oval Office. I want to get this thing signed. I want the president to sign it. I think the support across the aisle that we've seen, it's really important, and that's what matters for my constituents and my neighbors in East Palestine.
Congressman Nels, elsewhere.
I would agree. I think this is good. And you know what? It's about damn time we do something good for the American people and the rail industry. And that's what we were able to do. So as long as we continue to have, you know, meaningful conversations and agree to disagree, I think Congress can actually pass meaningful legislation that will help the American people. And that's what we've done here. Now we got to get it through the full House and then get the Senate to act on it. But I've had conversations with the White House. Senator Vance, then Senator Vance, now Vice President Vance, is very happy with what he saw with this Rail Safety Enhancement Act and getting it through the committee. So I'm very pleased.
We'll follow it all. Thanks for coming on, Common
Yeah,
Ground.
almost done. Try- Hmm.
Get this exceptional offer on 2026 Cadillac Optic models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
This is what you get with cubic zirconia status. This is Leonardo's diamond status.
They upgraded us last week. When you want an upgrade that actually feels like an upgrade, it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you. Canada disinvited the U.S. to today's inauguration of a new bridge between Detroit and Windsor, Ontario. It comes with new tariffs going into effect. 60 countries
Jack.
of U.S. imports. They're part of an effort to crack down on goods